What if everything you've been told about wealth was backwards? What if the real secret isn't working harder, saving more, or finding the perfect opportunity, but rewiring the voice inside your head? Right now, as you watch this, millionaires around the world are speaking to themselves differently than you do. They're not more talented, more connected, or more lucky. They simply think in a language that attracts abundance, while most people think in a language that repels it. Napoleon Hill discovered this after studying over 500 of the wealthiest individuals of his time. And what he found will challenge everything you believe about success. The difference between those who struggle and those who thrive isn't circumstance. It's the conversation happening in their minds every single day. In this video, you'll discover the 7 sacred affirmations that Napoleon Hill identified as the foundation of every millionaire mind. These aren't just words. They're codes that unlock dormant potential, bridges between where you are and where you're destined to be. You'll learn how to speak these truths into existence, how to feel their power coursing through your consciousness, and how to watch as your external world begins to mirror your internal shift. This isn't motivation, it's identity reconstruction, and it begins right now, inside you, with the first breath of your new reality. There's a moment in every person's life when they realize they've been living someone else's dream. Maybe you're there right now, working hard, following the rules, doing everything you were taught would lead to success, yet feeling like you're running on a treadmill that never stops. The truth Napoleon Hill discovered will shake you. Wealth isn't about what you do with your hands, but what you do with your mind. Every millionaire he studied had mastered one fundamental skill. They spoke to themselves like winners before they ever won anything. They programmed their subconscious mind with statements so powerful, so precise, that their external reality had no choice but to align. The first sacred affirmation that transforms everything is this: I am divinely designed for wealth, joy, and unlimited expansion. And when you speak these words, you're not just making a statement. You're declaring war on every limiting belief that has kept you small. Most people whisper doubts to themselves all day long. I'm not good enough. Money is hard to come by. Success is for other people. But millionaires, they flood their minds with divine truth. They understand that the universe responds not to your circumstances, but to your consciousness. Think about this for a moment. Every morning before your feet hit the floor, your mind is already choosing the frequency you'll operate on all day. Will it be the frequency of lack, where you notice everything you don't have? Or will it be the frequency of abundance, where opportunities seem to appear from nowhere? This isn't wishful thinking, it's quantum mechanics. Your thoughts are energy, and energy attracts like energy. When you affirm your divine design for wealth, you're tuning into the same frequency that every successful person has accessed throughout history. But here's where most people get it wrong. They say the words without feeling the truth. Affirmations without emotion are like seeds without water. They won't grow. You must speak, I am divinely designed for wealth, joy, and unlimited expansion, with the same certainty you'd say your own name. Feel it in your chest. Let it vibrate through your entire being. Because when you truly believe you were designed for greatness, your actions automatically align with that belief. You start making decisions from abundance instead of scarcity. The beautiful thing about this first affirmation is that it connects you to something greater than yourself. You're not just trying to get rich. You're recognizing that wealth is part of your spiritual inheritance. You were created by infinite intelligence, and infinite intelligence doesn't create anything limited. When you embrace this truth, something magical happens. The struggle stops. The forcing stops. You begin to move with the natural flow of abundance that was always meant to be yours. And this is just the beginning of your transformation. Now that you've planted the seed of your divine design, it's time to water it with the second transformative truth. Here's what Napoleon Hill observed in every wealthy individual he studied. They never saw problems, only solutions waiting to be discovered. While ordinary people panic when challenges arise, millionaires get excited. They know something you're about to learn. Every solution I seek already flows through my consciousness. This isn't positive thinking. It's accessing a deeper intelligence that most people never tap into. Your mind is like an iceberg. What you're aware of, your conscious thoughts, your daily worries, your surface-level thinking, that's just the tip. But beneath the surface lies an ocean of infinite intelligence, connected to every solution that has ever existed or ever will exist. When you affirm, "Every solution I seek already flows through my consciousness," you're diving beneath the surface. You're acknowledging that the answer to your financial challenges, your career questions, your relationship struggles, they're all already within you, waiting to be recognized. Think about the last time you had a brilliant idea. Where did it come from? You weren't forcing it. You weren't struggling for it. It simply appeared, as if downloaded from somewhere beyond your everyday thinking. That's your consciousness connecting to infinite intelligence. Millionaires have learned to access this state at will. They don't stress about how they'll solve their problems. They trust that the solution will emerge when they create the right mental environment. They meditate, they reflect, they listen to the whispers of wisdom that most people drown out with worry. Here's a practical way to experience this right now. Think of a challenge you're currently facing. Instead of focusing on why it's difficult or impossible, close your eyes and repeat. "Every solution I seek already flows through my consciousness." Feel yourself sinking deeper into trust. Imagine your mind as a vast library where every book contains an answer you need. The solution isn't missing. You just haven't found the right shelf yet. This shift in perspective changes everything. You stop being a victim of circumstances and become a detective of possibilities. The most successful people Hill studied had one thing in common. They treated their consciousness like sacred ground. They protected it from negative influences, fed it with inspiring ideas, and trusted it to deliver insights that logic alone could never provide. When you begin to see your mind as a direct line to infinite intelligence, you stop feeling alone in your struggles. You realize you have access to the same creative force that built the pyramids, composed symphonies, and created every breakthrough in human history. And that force is about to reveal something even more powerful. The third affirmation that separates millionaires from everyone else might surprise you. I move in perfect rhythm with the universe's infinite intelligence. Most people fight against life, pushing and forcing their way toward success. They believe that wealth requires struggle, that abundance demands sacrifice, that prosperity comes only through pain. But Napoleon Hill discovered something revolutionary. The wealthiest individuals he studied had learned to dance with life instead of wrestling with it. They understood that the universe has its own timing, its own rhythm, and when you align with it, everything becomes effortless. Imagine a surfer trying to create waves instead of riding them. Exhausting, right? That's how most people approach success. They're constantly swimming against the current, wondering why progress feels so difficult. But when you affirm, I move in perfect rhythm with the universe's infinite intelligence, you become the surfer who waits for the perfect wave. You start recognizing the signs, the synchronicities, the moments when the universe is saying, now is your time. You stop forcing doors that aren't ready to open and start noticing the ones that swing wide with just a gentle touch. This doesn't mean becoming passive or waiting for miracles to fall from the sky. It means becoming incredibly sensitive to the flow of opportunities around you. When you're in rhythm with infinite intelligence, you'll find yourself in the right place at the right time more often. You'll meet the exact person you need to meet. You'll stumble upon information that changes everything. You'll have ideas that seem to come from nowhere but lead to everywhere you want to go. This isn't luck, it's alignment. It's what happens when you stop trying to control the universe and start collaborating with it. Here's how this looks in real life. Instead of desperately chasing every opportunity, you become selective. You trust your intuition to guide you toward the paths that will actually lead somewhere meaningful. You stop saying yes to everything and start saying yes to the right things. You develop what Hill called accurate thinking, the ability to distinguish between opportunities that drain your energy and those that multiply it. When you move in rhythm with infinite intelligence, your decisions become clearer, your actions become more powerful, and your results become more predictable. The beautiful paradox is this: the moment you stop trying to force success is the moment success starts flowing toward you naturally. You begin to understand that wealth isn't something you chase. It's something you attract by becoming the kind of person who naturally operates at a higher frequency. And speaking of frequency, there's a daily choice that determines whether you'll vibrate at the level of abundance or scarcity, and it's more powerful than you might imagine. Every morning you wake up and face a choice that will determine the trajectory of your entire day. It's not the choice of what to wear or what to eat. It's deeper than that. It's the choice between courage and comfort, between growth and safety. The fourth millionaire affirmation that Napoleon Hill discovered cuts straight to the heart of this daily decision. Today I choose courage over comfort, growth over safety. This single statement separates those who build empires from those who build excuses. Most people choose comfort because it feels safe, but millionaires choose courage because they know that's where transformation lives. Think about every significant breakthrough in your life. Did it happen when you were comfortable? Did it occur when you were playing it safe? Of course not. Growth lives in the space between where you are and where you're afraid to go. When you affirm, "Today I choose courage over comfort," you're making a declaration that today will be different. Today you'll have the conversation you've been avoiding. Today you'll take the action you've been postponing. Today you'll step into the version of yourself that your dreams are waiting for. Comfort is seductive because it promises security, but it's a false promise. The only real security comes from knowing you can handle whatever life throws at you. And you develop that confidence not by avoiding challenges, but by facing them head on. Every time you choose courage over comfort, you're making a deposit in your confidence account. You're proving to yourself that you're stronger than your fears, more capable than your doubts, and more powerful than your circumstances. Here's what this looks like practically. Instead of staying in the job that drains your soul because it pays the bills, you start building the business that ignites your passion. Instead of avoiding difficult conversations that could transform your relationships, you lean into them with love and honesty. Instead of waiting for the perfect moment to start investing, you begin with whatever you have right now. Each act of courage compounds, creating momentum that eventually becomes unstoppable. The millionaires Hill studied understood something profound. Comfort is the enemy of greatness. Not because comfort is bad, but because it keeps you operating at a level far below your potential. When you consistently choose growth over safety, you develop what Hill called persistence, the ability to keep moving forward even when the path is unclear. And this persistence, combined with the right mental programming, creates something magical that most people never experience. The fifth affirmation reveals the secret that every architect of wealth has mastered. My thoughts are the architects of my destiny. I build with intention. Napoleon Hill discovered that millionaires don't just think, they think strategically. They understand that every thought is a blueprint, every mental image is a foundation stone, and every belief is a beam that either supports or undermines the life they're constructing. While most people let their thoughts run wild like untrained animals, wealthy individuals treat their minds like sacred construction sites where only the finest materials are allowed. Your thoughts are not random events happening to you. They are creative forces working for you or against you every single moment. When you think, "I'll never have enough money," you're literally designing poverty into your future. When you think, "Opportunities always find me," you're architecting abundance. The difference between those who struggle financially and those who thrive isn't talent, education, or luck. It's the quality of thoughts they consistently choose to entertain. Millionaires have learned to be incredibly selective about what they allow into their mental workspace. Here's where intention becomes everything. It's not enough to just think positive thoughts occasionally. You must build with intention. This means consciously choosing thoughts that align with the life you want to create. Every morning before the world fills your mind with its chaos, you take control of your mental blueprint. You visualize not just what you want, but who you must become to have it. You see yourself making decisions from abundance, speaking with confidence, acting with certainty. You're not just daydreaming, you're programming your subconscious mind to recognize and create opportunities. I want you to pause right now and speak these words with me. My thoughts are the architects of my destiny. I build with intention. Feel the power in that statement. Feel yourself taking control of the construction site of your mind. This isn't just an affirmation. It's a commitment to becoming the master builder of your own reality. When you truly embrace this truth, you stop being a victim of random circumstances and become the deliberate creator of your experience. The most successful people Hill studied had one habit in common. They protected their mental blueprints like precious treasures. They surrounded themselves with inspiring ideas, uplifting people, and empowering environments. They understood that you cannot build a mansion with broken bricks, and you cannot create wealth with poverty consciousness. As you begin to build with intention, you'll notice something remarkable happening. Your external world starts reflecting the internal architecture you've been carefully constructing. The sixth affirmation that transforms everything is perhaps the most revolutionary. Greatness is not my goal, it is my natural state awakening. Most people chase greatness like it's something outside themselves, something they must earn, achieve, or prove they deserve. But Napoleon Hill discovered that every millionaire he studied had come to a profound realization. Greatness isn't a destination, it's a recognition. It's not something you become, it's something you remember you've always been. When you stop trying to become great and start allowing your greatness to emerge, everything changes. Think about a seed buried in the ground. It doesn't struggle to become a tree. It simply follows its natural programming. The oak tree is already encoded within the acorn. It just needs the right conditions to express itself. You are no different. Greatness is your default setting, your original blueprint, your divine inheritance. The only reason you don't experience it consistently is because you've been programmed to believe you're ordinary. But ordinary is not your truth. It's just a story you've been telling yourself. When you affirm, "Greatness is not my goal, it is my natural state awakening," you're not being arrogant, you're being accurate. You're acknowledging that the same creative intelligence that formed galaxies and orchestrates the seasons also formed you. You're recognizing that limitation is learned, not natural. You're remembering that every human being who has ever achieved anything extraordinary simply accessed what was already within them. The difference between you and those you admire isn't capacity, it's awareness. This shift from pursuing greatness to embodying it changes how you show up in every situation. Instead of trying to impress others, you express your authentic self. Instead of competing with others, you collaborate with life. Instead of forcing outcomes, you trust the process. You begin to operate from a place of inner knowing rather than outer seeking. You stop asking, "Am I good enough?" and start asking, "How can I serve from my greatness?" The beautiful thing about awakening to your natural greatness is that it's contagious. When you stop diminishing yourself to make others comfortable, you give them permission to shine too. When you stop playing small, you inspire others to expand. When you embrace your magnificence, you become a living reminder that everyone has access to the same infinite potential. And this brings us to the most powerful affirmation of all, the one that connects you to the source of all abundance. The seventh and final affirmation is the master key that unlocks everything else. Faith is my compass when the path disappears into mystery. Napoleon Hill discovered that every millionaire he studied possessed one quality above all others: unshakable faith. Not blind faith, but intelligent faith. Faith backed by understanding. Faith that functions as an internal guidance system when external circumstances make no sense. This is the difference between those who give up when things get difficult and those who push through to extraordinary success. Faith is not about believing in something you can't see. It's about knowing something you can't yet prove. It's the inner certainty that your dreams are not fantasies, but previews of coming attractions. When you affirm faith is my compass when the path disappears into mystery, you're declaring that you will not be stopped by uncertainty. You will not be paralyzed by the unknown. You will not abandon your vision just because you can't see the entire staircase. You will take the next step, and then the next, trusting that the path will reveal itself as you walk it. Think about every great achievement in human history. The Wright brothers couldn't see the path to flight, but they had faith in the possibility. Edison couldn't see the path to the light bulb, but he had faith in the process. Every entrepreneur who ever built something from nothing had to walk through periods where the path completely disappeared into mystery. But their faith served as a compass, always pointing them toward their true north, even when everything around them seemed to be pointing in the opposite direction. Here's what faith looks like in practical terms. When your bank account says one thing but your vision says another, you trust your vision. When people tell you it's impossible, but your heart tells you it's inevitable, you follow your heart. When logic suggests you should quit, but your soul whispers keep going, you keep going. Faith is not the absence of doubt. It's the presence of commitment despite doubt. It's the decision to act on your beliefs rather than your fears. The millionaires Hill studied understood that faith is not passive. It's the most active force in the universe. Faith without action is wishful thinking, but action without faith is meaningless motion. When you combine unshakable faith with consistent action, you become unstoppable. You develop what Hill called definiteness of purpose, the ability to stay focused on your destination even when the journey becomes unclear. And as you practice these 7 affirmations daily, something miraculous begins to happen. As these 7 sacred affirmations begin to rewire your consciousness, you'll notice something profound happening in your life. The external world starts shifting to match your internal transformation. Opportunities that were always there but invisible to you suddenly become obvious. People who can help you achieve your dreams start appearing in your life as if by magic. Resources you need begin flowing toward you from unexpected sources. This isn't coincidence. It's the natural result of aligning your thoughts with the frequency of abundance. Napoleon Hill called this phenomenon the law of attraction, but it's deeper than just positive thinking. When you consistently affirm these truths, that you're divinely designed for wealth, that solutions flow through your consciousness, that you move in rhythm with infinite intelligence, you're programming your subconscious mind to notice and create opportunities that support these beliefs. Your mind becomes a magnet for everything that aligns with your new identity as a person destined for greatness. The transformation doesn't happen overnight, but it happens surely. Each day that you speak these affirmations with conviction, you're laying another brick in the foundation of your new reality. Each time you choose courage over comfort, you're strengthening your success muscles. Each moment you build with intention rather than accident, you're becoming the architect of your own destiny. The compound effect of these daily practices creates momentum that eventually becomes unstoppable. But here's the most important thing Hill discovered. These affirmations only work if you work them. They're not magic spells that transform your life while you remain passive. They're tools that become powerful only when wielded by someone committed to change. You must speak them daily, feel them deeply, and act on them consistently. You must become the kind of person who naturally thinks these thoughts, believes these truths, and lives these principles. The 7 millionaire affirmations you've learned today are your inheritance from the greatest minds in history. They're the distilled wisdom of those who refuse to accept limitation as their reality. They're the keys to the kingdom that has always been yours. Now the question is, will you use them? Will you commit to the daily practice of rewiring your mind for wealth, success, and abundance? Will you choose to awaken the millionaire consciousness that has been sleeping within you? The choice, as always, is yours. But remember, every millionaire who ever lived started exactly where you are right now, with a decision to think differently. The journey from where you are to where you want to be begins with a single thought, spoken with conviction, felt with certainty, and acted upon with faith. These 7 affirmations are not just words, they're the blueprint for a completely new way of being in the world. As you integrate them into your daily practice, you'll discover that wealth is not something you chase, but something you attract by becoming the kind of person who naturally operates at the frequency of abundance. The next video appearing on your screen will take you even deeper into the mysteries of the millionaire mind, revealing the hidden psychological patterns that separate those who dream from those who achieve. If you're ready to explore the deepest secrets of human potential and unlock the full power of your consciousness, click now and continue this transformational journey. Your future self is waiting, and the time for awakening is now.